Long before the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there was another Marvel franchise that dominated arcades across the world in the form of the Marvel vs Capcom series. A franchise that swallowed up many tokens and dollars at the arcade and had a steady queue of gamers eager to test their mettle against some of Marvel and Capcom's most iconic heroes and villains. Marvel vs Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics is a compilation set to save your arcade tokens and queue time by bringing 7 Marvel vs Capcom titles to the Nintendo Switch in a comprehensive collection. What's it like? Put your tokens away, bust out the arcade stick, and I'm about to make a name for myself here as we review Marvel vs Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics on Nintendo Switch. Before we start kicking and punching into this review, would you mind liking and subscribing? It's the best fighting chance that What's It Like has against the YouTube algorithm, and I can't thank you enough for doing so. Marvel vs Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics is a jam-packed compilation with some of the 90s and noughties best arcade games. The package includes The Punisher, X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs Street Fighter, Marvel vs Capcom, and Marvel vs Capcom 2. With the exception of The Punisher, the titles all follow the Street Fighter style of game, pitting characters and teams against each other with a round-robin style of progression. The Punisher's inclusion is because it was actually the first partnership between Marvel and Capcom and was an incredibly popular brawler in similar vein to Streets of Rage or Final Fight, and follows the Punisher and Nick Fury as they team up to take down Kingpin across a variety of action-packed stages. This game was in nearly every cinema and arcade growing up, and from memory, I think it even made a Sega Mega Drive debut as well. The Punisher is a fantastic beat-em-up that took the Double Dragon formula to the next level, with shootouts, crazy enemies, and some amazing set pieces. This entire collection showcases the timeline between the early collaborations of Marvel and Capcom, from the CPS-1 and CPS-2 arcade systems to Marvel vs Capcom 2's Sega Naomi platform, which allowed home consoles like the Dreamcast to have cross-save compatibility and 2D and 3D hybrid technology. The collection features both offline and online play, and online was something only previously available in Japanese arcades thanks to Capcom's dial-up internet integration. And now I'm showing my age. Children of the Atom and Marvel Superheroes were simply Capcom's take on Marvel's Street Fighter, so to speak, and are amazing games in their own right. Children of the Atom focuses solely on the X-Men franchise and has set levels to battle through before you get to the end boss. It was the series and fan favourite debut of Wolverine, who proved so popular that he appears in every single game, with the exception of The Punisher. Marvel Superheroes started to branch out a bit, featuring more iconic heroes like Captain America and Spider-Man. Iron Man also featured in the game, but isn't really given the royal treatment because he really didn't quite hit the heights of his star power, or should I say Stark power, until Iron Man would unofficially kick off the MCU in around 2008. It's actually quite amazing to see the original character designs of Iron Man, Thanos, and the likes, and it also baffles me how the Gambit movie never came to be, considering his popularity and frequency in this collection. But I guess that's a different conversation for a different type of channel. The rest of the collection is where Capcom and Marvel joined forces to produce some of its most intense fighting games of our time. Fluid combos, over-the-top specials, and a lot of fan services all poured into Marvel Superheroes vs Street Fighter, Marvel vs Capcom, and Marvel vs Capcom 2, with each iteration seemingly going bigger and better in its own ways. Despite these advances in gameplay as the series progressed, surprisingly, each title holds up and is fun to play in its own right. I found myself gravitating towards Marvel vs Capcom 1, mainly because it was the title that I sunk the most tokens into. But each game has its own qualities, offering a balanced selection of gameplay. While it would have been easy to just slap these games together in a simple emulated fashion, each game has been ported across with love and attention, customizable marquees, filter settings, button remapping, and it just doesn't seem to have the CPS2 engine slowdown issues that other arcade emulations seem to have. Performance is locked in at a smooth and fluid frame rate, and everything just runs exceptionally well. The game features classic Street Fighter visuals with gorgeous sprite artwork, detailed settings and backdrops, and fantastic effects that give it that bombastic Capcom razzle-dazzle while duking it out. Combos, specials, support characters, and Easter eggs all look amazing in action, and the ability to change filters adds to the already amazing visual art style. You can add different marquees to your screen when in original aspect mode, and can even go full screen with no filters if you want to use every inch of your TV or Switch screen's real estate. On top of all that, Capcom also saw fit to add a museum into this collection for each individual title, offering gorgeous artwork, instruction manuals, cabinet art, design drawings, and marquee art, which is just an incredible addition, especially for game preservation purposes. I actually got lost just looking through this collection, following the design process and seeing how it got translated into the game's final product. It's simply amazing fan service. On top of the artwork, each game also has a playable jukebox which allows you to just go through any track you like and listen to any song featured in the franchise. The games also feature achievements in the form of challenge coins, but rather than having simple goals to achieve, Capcom added some tricky ones for completionists to try to earn. Coins start off simple, like playing and finishing a title, but then move into more challenging territory like absorbing a particular power with Rogue and then finish them off with that said power. It's a really nice touch. Players can also go into training mode with every title except for the Punisher, and that shows off hitboxes, spacing, and timing and button inputs, and it just really allows you to fine-tune your game. Now, this is not a paid promotion, but it's merely for gamers who want to take their game a little bit further. I actually went out and picked up an 8-bit Do arcade stick that works perfectly with the collection, and it adds an entirely new level of immersion to the game. Despite being classified as an entry-level stick, the 8-bit Do arcade stick made me feel like I was back in the arcade with no input lag and precision inputs that saved my thumbs a bit on my Power A D-pad. If you really enjoy Marvel vs Capcom or arcade and fighting games in general, I thoroughly recommend the 8-bit Do arcade stick to complement this amazing collection. For my Street Fighters who are looking into accessibility options, you can lower your difficulties and fully remap your controls. You can turn off your grainy CRT filters to offer a clearer picture. But there are frequent flashes and special effects that cannot be turned off. So for my fighters with photosensitivity, you may need to exercise a bit of caution here with this game collection. Marvel vs Capcom Fighting Game Collection Arcade Classics is an excellent package, lovingly assembled for the fans. There's a myriad of additional features and content to just sink your teeth into, online play to test your skills, and incredible customization options so you can just play your way. At $70 Australian, Marvel vs Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics provides great value for money, landing it at just under $10 per game in the package. And each title has something to bring to the table and illustrates the evolution of the Marvel vs Capcom partnership across its timeline. If you're a fan of fighters, Marvel vs Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics is the must-have collection for your Nintendo Switch. So, what's it like? Marvel vs Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics is like Street Fighter mixed in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I award it a 94 out of 100, cementing it as a What's It Like certified exceptional game. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. The best way you can support me is to like and subscribe and continue watching my content if you enjoy it. But if you do want to go that bit extra, you can buy me a coffee or join our Patreon, which shows you behind the scenes of this channel. Thanks again.